Okay, so now your next steps. So your next steps are watching another video, and here's the topics I'll cover this time. We'll talk about GitHub. We'll talk about Discord and how both of these are used in our class. So, the first thing I need you to know is that this class utilizes this free system website called GitHub. And what we're going to do is have the first thing you'll need to do, if you don't already have a GitHub account, is actually create one. So I'm just going to click on here. Now I'm already logged in. So let me just, I guess I could do is log out just to show you. Because the thing you'll need to do is actually sign up. Again, unless you already have an account, then you can sign in, but just make sure you have access to that account if it was an older account from before, so that because I'm going to use that account to add you to our course repo. Okay, so when you sign up, it is not, they do offer a paid email or a paid part of GitHub, but you do not have to use that. You completely use the free one. So there's no cost to you. You can use whichever email. You don't have to use your campus email. So go through this process and set up your account. Okay. I'm again already signed in. So, or I'm signed in now. Now, once you go through the process of signing up, okay, the thing you're going to want to give me is your account name, okay, your username. So in this case, once you create, and I'm just going to go to my account on GitHub, okay, this is my location on GitHub. And so the thing I'm going to need from you is just your username. So you can copy that, and that will be when you submit this assignment, what you'll submit to move to the next item. Okay. So I want you to know that. Again, we will now, the next things you'll do is go through a series of videos that helps you set up your local dev environment. But before you do that, you'll do some work out here on GitHub, which is awesome. Learning this. This is what students often tell me, by the way. Once, one of the things they really love about my class is that they've learned GitHub. They've heard about GitHub or Git in this an example. Matter of fact, since I've actually said that, Git versus GitHub. Let's just talk about it for just a second here. Okay. So this first one, I think, does a pretty good job. So what we're doing is it's hard to see a little bit, but you're setting up an account out on GitHub, which is a web-based product from Microsoft. If you might be surprised by that, but they bought it a couple of years ago, and several now. And so this is the website that houses the code that from your local system that you write code and you complete the GitHub workflow to push that code out to GitHub. So it's a similar process in a sense from the workflow perspective. Anytime you do something that you then place content out on the web, maybe from your local system, right? So I just want you to know that Git is also something you're going to install on or is something you're going to install on your local system. But GitHub is a website that you then push code out to. Okay. So it's a high quality version control. And in software development, it is a really important thing to understand how to version control. There's so many reasons why this is important. But just to know, it's a industry standard to learn Git and learn how to use GitHub for almost any coding level position. So, and we use it for this course so that I can see the code that you're writing. Okay, so now that I've said that, set up your account. Once you're done with the rest of this content, then go ahead and hit start submission, and then you'll give me your username. Now, the other system I use, now GitHub is absolutely required. There's no getting around that. This next one is something I use to give students the ability mostly to talk to each other and to me if I happen to be online at that time, and it's called Discord. Now, you may have heard of Discord as well, or you may have heard of something called Slack, or you may have heard of something called Microsoft Teams, but this is a system I've been using for about a year, actually almost 2 years now, for the ability to have students ask questions of other students and possibly me in a real time way. Because as we all know, email, you send an email, you don't know, you may not get the response immediately. There's a delay. And even here, if you're the only one up at 3 in the morning, you may not get that. But I just want you to know that I use this to really help you help each other, and if I'm around, I'll help as well. But I do want to say this. I've run into this a couple of times. Like, if you want to ask me questions directly, don't use Discord. This is where you go into Canvas and you do shoot off emails to me, because I am mandated to track, to have the campus see all the conversations between you and I directly. And that's an important part. Just know that I use this for student to student communications. I give you a little link here for what this is, and then I give you a link to the invite to allow you to get on to the our GitHub, our Discord server. Okay, so you click this link and you get on. And you have to go through the process again of setting up an account. I'm actually going to go ahead and log in, because this course, this is the server I've started. Now, this server contains students that have oh, there's always something new. I like this animated banner. Got it. Okay. So there's once you get onto the system here, okay, once you get onto the FCC web development Discord server, then there's two parts. There's the text channels, which is anyone that's taken my classes before will be up in these text channels. And there are channels for JavaScript, there's ones for Python, there's general. So this could be anyone that's on the server. Actually, out here, I have a Fresno City College, and these are what's called channels. Okay. Now, on the bottom here is actually the students that are currently enrolled, which would be you. Okay. These are for only our classes. So what you'll do is, this first one is called the start here. And what you want to do is, when you're ready and you're like, okay, I want to get on Discord, I see the benefit to asking questions in the real time environment, then I'm going to get on. For us, it'd be here. But in this case, notice there's a little lock, right? So what you have to do is, once you get on the server, which one thing I forgot to talk about, let me come back and talk about this now, is that I actually have a code of conduct for this. And if you click up in here, you'll see that a code of conduct is way we all agree that we're going to behave on the server. And what you want to do is, even though it says Python, it applies to my entire server for Discord. And I would really appreciate it if you understood this before you start. That way there's no issues around questions of behavior. So it's just good to click into that. And again, how I got there was, I went to code of conduct. I clicked up at the top to see that. Okay. So coming back here, once you get into the server, the start here is open and anybody can get in here, and then you can ask me, or there might be another person on the server. Maybe Aaron can help as well. Aaron's our tutor for Python, but he also just hangs out on the server, and there's other people that might be here. But what you can do is just or ask to be added. Like, let me show you an example where a student asks to be added. Yeah, person can I be added into a particular channel. So in this case, right, what you're going to be added into is here. And once you're added, then again, this is limited. This is only for our class. And I will post stuff out here, which is, I think, another benefit to being here. Okay. All right. So coming back here. Again, this is encouraged. And the other thing about this, I've experienced this a couple of times now, so I just want to speak to it now, is like, it's really sometimes challenging for students who are very, very new to either more technical classes or coding in general, which many of you may be, to ask questions. But I can tell you, it's one of the best ways to learn, because it's no question is a bad question. Okay. But the question you didn't ask is not going to help you grow. So I want you to understand that it's okay to ask questions, and I encourage you to, come talk to me if you're not feeling comfortable. That's obviously fine as well, and that's where you can shoot off emails to me and ask questions there. You don't have to use Discord. I just recommend you do. Okay. So here, let's just do this. Back to the original thing. So what do you need to do here? You need to put in your GitHub username. Okay. You could put it in commas if you want. Doesn't really matter. You don't have to give me the long URL. Well, it's not long. It's pretty short. But anyway, give me your GitHub username. Okay. And then hit next. Oh, sorry. Hit submit. That'd be good, Rio. Hit submit. Oh, you get a nice little congratulations. Okay. So now what happens is if you hit next, it actually takes you, and I'm not going to do that yet because I want to show you kind of what opens up next. So now you're actually in the part of setting up your local dev environment. Now, these videos here I went through this morning and I looked at them. They're still right on par. They should give you the guidance, what you need to get through this process. If you're on the Mac, I ended up doing a video right at the end just for just this process, the workflow, and how to set up the folder, how to clone on the Mac itself. But so that's the idea now, is that you want to work through these. Once you're done with them, now this is unlike the rest of the course. I did this to where I could see that if you've done this, like you've clicked into here, I have some written content, I have some video content. So you'll work through this one, do all the steps, and let me just show you what you end up doing. Matter of fact, I can just show you because I did mine this morning. I'm going to go to 93 and I set up my 2 repos. So here's what I want you to notice. There's a lowercase dash private. There's 2 repos you'll set up. Lowercase first name, last name, first character of your last name dash, and then public or private. Do keep those lowercase, no spaces. Do follow the standard. It just makes it a lot easier. Okay. So that's the next thing you're going to do. And once you get your local dev environment set, then there's a last video from me from how did it go and giving you some instruction on how to get ready for your week 1. Now, maybe you see why I released this a little bit early so you can get a chance to get this set up. Okay. All right. So have a good time with it, and ask for help when you need it. Consider joining Discord for help for sure. Get your GitHub username set up. Give that to me because you can't do any of the work really in this class until you have gone through this process. All right. Thanks. Talk to you later.